Welcome back to the 5% Club. I'm Shayla King, a former C-suite executive turned business and life coach. And this is the podcast for leaders who want it all. The promotions, the paychecks, and luxurious amounts of time for the things that matter most. Each week, I'm going to teach you from my performance and happiness formula what it takes to rise to the top without burnout and overwhelm. Work less, make more, and design a life you love. That's what we do in the 5% Club. Let's go. Welcome back to the 5% Club podcast. I'm Shayla King, your favorite performance and happiness coach for female executives. If you're new to my work, I work with a select number of one-on-one executive coaching clients, and I lead the Performance and Happiness Lab. It's a group cohort for women in leadership who want the pay, the promotion, and a life that they are obsessed with. You can always learn more at shaylaking.com. But here on the podcast, we talk about everything that matters to a female executive: results, relationships, rituals, and mindset. And today is a special episode. It's part 2 of my conversation with Krista Williams. She's an author, a coach, a speaker, and the host of almost 30 podcasts with over 120 million downloads. And honestly, this is one of the deepest conversations I've had yet on this show. If you missed part 1, go back and listen to that. We covered the good girl mentality, the mother wound, and this concept Krista calls ancestral gems. It's the good stuff that gets passed down to us too, not just the heavy stuff. This is a good one. And this part, we pick up right where we left off. We get into why the world doesn't always know what to do with a happy, thriving woman. We talk about friendships and how to know which ones are actually adding to your life and when it might be time to end one. Krista tells the most beautiful story at the end about her dad. So stick around. This one goes deep. It gets personal, and it's so easy to relate to if you've ever had a time where you felt judged for wanting more, or if you've ever struggled with any of your familial relationships in your life. Dig in, my friends. Enjoy. Okay, so perfect transition. We both love our freaking lives. And you have gotten to interview some of my favorite people on the planet, one of which is Glennon Doyle.
She's powerful.
And you've had an amazing,
She's a cool, powerful person.
Yeah. And we learned actually how to have a blended family from her. That was one of the key takeaways for us. But you had a great conversation with her after Untamed came out about how her quote was, "The world loves a suffering woman." Can you talk to me about why the world does not seem to enjoy a happy, thriving, confident woman? We want so many more of them, but people don't react well.
Well, it's a perfect example is today, babe. I've known you in our coaching work, but today we got really, really deep, and you shared some very deep things that you've been through and some very impactful moments that were incredibly painful and incredibly traumatic. And I noticed even myself finding a greater sense of respect, admiration, connection to you. Of course, we're being vulnerable, and so that's natural as a part of our progression. But I was even thinking wow, why is it that I now respect her more, or I now think she's worthy of her gifts more, she's worthy of the abundance more because you've gone through hell.
Right.
And there's this programming concept that they talk about. It's a lot related to religious programming. It's the concept of have to going through hell to get to heaven. And a lot of times people will not be okay with someone having a heavenly lifestyle, a beautiful lifestyle of abundance.
Easy
and
getting
flow,
things, success
getting
easy.
things easily because they believe you have to go through hell to get to heaven. And especially for women, it's mostly women that don't want to believe that a woman could just be rested, receiving, living in her truth, all of these things, because we want that so bad. Glennon is such a beautiful example of someone that talks a lot about how she was holding herself in these own prisons. She was holding herself captive to the belief she had to be good and nice and do things for everyone else. And so as much as, we want to be the ones that are the example of a woman that cannot suffer, we have to really lead that for ourselves. So it's how can we not allow ourselves to suffer? How can we not validate our own suffering? How can we not see how can we just not let ourselves suffer and be the safe haven, the safe inner mother for ourselves, and then be the example for other women and love and honor other women, whatever part of the journey that they're on, even if they're suffering or even if they're not.
Yeah. And I think it's so good for us to check it when it happens in our mind. because I do think when women step up and are more confident than we are or more bold than we are, that we immediately are kind of like taken aback and have a little distaste.
Yep.
And
Well, there's always a caveat. Oh, her husband's rich.
yeah,
Oh,
we
she
have to
was given that.
justify
Oh,
why
she was in reality TV. Oh, she was really pretty. Oh, she's got a lot of work done. Oh, she was born with money. There's always that piece that really is a balm for our ego. It's a balm for our ego. We're like, oh, that it's only because of this.
But it also gives us an excuse to not go get it ourselves.
Exactly.
Which I hate.
Exactly.
So any tips or tricks on what we can do to be like, hell yeah, baby, let's go. I see you thriving. Let's go.
I think it's really first catching that when you do that in yourself, because that's an internal conversation you're having with yourself. You know, when you're like, okay, I'm seeing this woman that's really succeeding. Oh, it's because she bought her way in, or she has. Noticing when you do that for yourself. And what I love about doing work where you're really doing it with yourself, with you and you can like really be catching yourself in the moment. And you can be like, hey girl, I love you, but like, let's not do that to someone. And maybe just she deserves it. Maybe she's an example. Maybe she's a guide. Maybe because she did it, you can too. I think having also to not only catching yourself, but the second thing is also reminding yourself that women succeeding and women winning gives you the greater opportunity to win and succeed.
Yes,
the more that a woman could win resting, the more that a woman could win without effort, the more that a woman could win without burnout, the more I can too. And just knowing that we women are really leading the way, especially in the West with the world, of being and doing things that we have never done in the past. So as much as we feel tempted to cut a woman down or see like a woman has to suffer to win, the less we can the more we can catch ourselves and the more we can honor whatever part they are on their path, truly the better.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think sometimes we're like, well, it's hard for me, so it has to be hard for them.
Yep.
Or it won't last. It's a cheat code because she did it easy. And like, I'm like, let the abundance come. Let it be easier. I'm here for it.
And we don't know what happens behind the scenes.
We don't.
That's the whole thing too.
But I don't want them to suffer. I want you to just
Totally.
like you'll see those reels where they're like, I was just manifesting on my bed and it all came true. And like, yes, I want that for you.
Totally.
Let things be easier for women everywhere because it's been too freaking hard for too freaking long. And so I love the idea too of us actually going up to the woman in power and say, love what you're doing.
Yes. And the woman that's like doing it different.
So happy for you and
Yes.
congratulations. And you're such an inspiration for me, and like keep shining your light because it lets me know I can do, and like, please verbalize that.
Yes.
Because the women that are in it feel that they're not loved and accepted. And there's literal data that the more successful and the higher up a man goes in an organization, the more likable he becomes.
Wow.
And it's the exact inverse for a woman. So in corporate America, the higher up you go, the more power you have, the less we like you because you're supposed to be in a support function. What are you doing trying to be the boss?
Wow.
And so the boss can look bad on us.
That stuff is just crazy.
It's crazy. So I want to change it to where we're like, hell yeah, we love a woman in charge. We love you being successful. And like, I would just suggest to everybody, like, find a woman this week that's powerful, that you know personally or not, and just tell her you're loving watching her rock it.
I was saying to a friend the other day, you know, I do a lot of things, but we went out the other night. We were like, let's go out. Like, let's go. Like, we went out on the town. And I was laughing because when I was coming up, when I was younger in my early 20s, when you would go into the bar bathroom, women would be like catty, looking at you side eye, like kind of like being rude, being like judgmental. Nowadays, women are so kind to each other.
So kind.
It is such a different world. And I'm so grateful to be a part of a time or a generation or whatever where women truly are doing their best to support and be kind to other women. I know it's not perfect. I know it's tough out there. I know that we've all been bullied, criticized, talked about, gossiped about by women. We've been hurt by women for sure, which all goes back to the other one. But nowadays it is easier than ever to be loved and supported by women and to be a powerful woman. And so to just remember too that like now is the time more than ever for you to be in your power and for you to support other women in their power.
I love that. And I think my teenage girls are such a good example of that. To be like, oh, we don't body shame. And then it's like, I remember being in a drive-thru and I was like, her nails are so cute. She goes, tell her, if you see something, say it. Like, of course you say something. And so I just love
That's incredible.
watching them. And I remember teaching them at a young age. She's like, I like that dress. Go tell her. You know, and they're like, I don't want to. Go tell her. Like getting them to be bolder.
Totally.
Like, please be bold in the name of complimenting women. Like, I am here for it.
Oh my gosh, 100%. Because we have to metabolize the compliments too. And I've actually been doing that recently where I tell one, I'm like, oh, you're really beautiful. And like, just like allowing it to flow is just such a gift.
I love it. Okay. I'm going to go to friendships.
Okay.
So a lot of times as you do the work, I think finding friends and being in conversation can be difficult. And I had recent conversations with some of my clients in the Performance and Happiness Lab, and we were talking about how once you start seeing things in a more positive and abundant light, you start noticing negativity more. And so we're training intentionally. We learn in the lab, we learn how to train our brains to turn down the negative voice and turn up the positive, right? And as you do that, it's like it's glaring now and you can see it everywhere. And most conversations are one of two things. It's either complaining about my husband, about my kids, about traffic, about the weather, whatever, or it's talking shit on other women. And so do you have advice for how to find friends? I know that you talk, I want to like plug this too. I should have said this in the intro. When I met you and heard of Almost 30, I was like 41. And so I was like, so
I'm
it's
on
not
the other side too.
So I was like, it's not.
You do not have to be almost 30 to listen. That was us at the age we were at, where we were just lost and wanted to find some answers in life.
But then I read the book and I'm like, oh my God, it's women's book. It's the book for women of every age. Because
you talk a lot about friendships in it too.
You do. And so one of the things that I love that you talked about is going from like volume-based friendships to depth. Will you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, of course. First of all, just the frame of friendships are so important. I think in life growing up, there was songs about love, romantic love, breakups, soulmates, all of this kind of stuff. And there was such a deep focus on finding the one, being with that person, etc. And no one ever talked about how to be a good friend. How to deal with friendship breakups, how to deal with friendship transitions, how to deal with friends that let you down, how to deal with friends that like weren't aligned or a match anymore. And as I've gotten older in life, I had so many of those situations happen and I didn't really know how to deal. I didn't know if it was okay. I didn't know if it was normal. And so part of the process of Almost 30 was really normalizing how important friendship is in our life.
Yeah.
And I do the podcast with my best friend and business partner, Lindsay. We've been best friends for 11 years now. We've had a business for 10. She's one of the most foundational relationships of my life. And for women, especially, women are more healthy in female relationships. Like, it is how we connect. It is how we heal. It is how we grow. You can really become the woman you want to be if you are seen and heard by other women. They can be the people that just hold you when you lose sight of who you are. So it's just foundational in every aspect of our lives. And I think the more we can prioritize friendships, the healthier we are. But it's not easy to have female friendships that feel sustainable and enriching all of the time.
Yeah.
I remember in my path being someone that changed a lot and grew a lot and evolved a lot. You know, I was in corporate job. I was living in Chicago, New York. I was interested in meditation. I stopped drinking when I was young. I started doing all of this crazy stuff. And so my friendships changed a lot. And I remember moving to Los Angeles and I was sitting at an intersection and I was just sitting there and I was like, I think there's something wrong with me that I've had different types of friends at different phases and different friends were each city that I lived. I think that something's wrong with me.
Yeah.
And I think I should have 4 of the same best friends that I was best friends with from Ohio.
Since
I
kindergarten.
should have girls. I should have Sex in the City.
Yes.
I should have the same friends for my entire life and there's something wrong with me. And I really held that for a long time. And it wasn't until I really came into myself and really came into a deeper understanding that there will be a part of your life and your healing and your personal growth journey where you are alone more, where you are not aligning to the old relationships, where you are no longer a fit for the same people, where you are no longer a fit for the same rooms, and that is okay.
Yeah.
That is a part of the process. You are right on purpose and on path, and that is as it should be. You should not be a fit to the same people for your entire life. You should not be a fit for the same places. You should not be a fit for the same rooms.
Yeah.
If you are true to yourself and your soul and your path. And so the more you can own that, the better. And the more you can honor the in-between periods where you need more alone time. Because I think right now, on my path, I realized it's better for me to be alone than in unaligned relationships.
Yeah.
And I was trying to force relationships because I felt like I'd look bad with people that weren't a fit anymore.
What's the difference between, I think what gets hard is you don't feel like they're pulling you down. You don't feel like they're pulling you away. You don't feel like they're bad influences. But you also don't feel like you're having this depth of conversation. You don't feel like they're going to take you to the next level. Is that okay to separate from too?
Yeah, I think this is a good question. And when you were asking, I was like, do I want to say how I really feel?
Please.
And so I'm going to say how I really feel about it. If my relationships are not adding to my life consistently, then I'm not going to be in that relationship. And I'm not saying that my friends don't go through stuff. I am the shaman for when my friends go through stuff.
Mhm.
Most of my friends I am there in the trenches. I was there in the trenches with one of my friends this weekend. I'm in the trenches. But if they are not consistently adding to my life some level of depth, safety, vulnerability, inspiration, motivation, it's not a relationship where I want to be. It's stagnant. It's just not growing. It's not evolving. And my life is a life of growth and evolution. So the way that I think people can think about that is when you truly understand the type of person that you are, you can operate in friendships much better. So I have a friend from home. She's still one of my best friends. We've been friends for 25 years. She is so cool with having pizza on Friday night, watching the game on Sunday, and doing the same things.
Yeah.
She's cool with the same friendships. She's cool with the same routines. That is genuinely who she is.
Yeah.
And that's freaking amazing. That's not who I am.
Yeah.
So she can be who she is in her friendships and have that level of depth, that have a level of intimacy. But I am not someone that's like that. So I truly had to really get grounded and metabolize the fact that like my relationships need to add to my life consistently.
Yeah.
They need to be a relationship that helps me grow, evolve, helps me feel seen. And that's just what it is. And so you can move differently when you know who you are and what you want in life.
And let's talk about that a little, because some people are going to hear that and be like, that's mean.
Of course.
And I do love the saying that friends are like elevator buttons. Either they bring you up or they bring you down. And so that stagnant is probably not even really an option.
Totally.
But I think that what everyone needs to hear is if you think, if that sounded at all, that is too transactional or that's mean or you're letting him go, that's because we are conditioned to sacrifice. That is because we are expected to spend our time in ways that don't add value for us. And honestly, and this sounds weird, but friendships and all relationships are transactional by nature as humans. And marriage is what value are you going to add for me and what value am I going to add for you? And so we just need to be honest about some of that, and we need to stop saying that you don't owe anyone anything. Even, and one of the deeper works that I do with my clients is really understanding that you don't have to do anything ever. You don't have to pay your taxes. You don't have to feed your kids. You don't have to do any of it. Then you get to go back to your value systems and what you want. And then you get to decide, here's what I do want to do. And here's what I'll hold myself accountable to. And here's how I want to live my life. And so I want everyone to just understand that if you think that ending relationships with people that aren't adding value for you sounds selfish, that is that internal programming of we have to do the right thing all the time and be the good girl.
Well, here's the truth. I don't even know if I'm a fan of ending relationships. If you are true to your work and your path and looking at yourself and really focused on your own growth, people will vibrate out or they'll vibrate in.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't need to be something where,
Dramatic.
hey, loser, you're no longer adding to my life. This is ending. It's like, it will be obvious by the way that you're living.
Yeah.
I stopped drinking when I was 26. No one else, I was living in Chicago. No one else, everyone else was drinking 24/7. That choice that
people
aligned,
stopped drinking like 2-3 years ago.
2-3 years
so-
ago, that choice that aligned with my soul specifically
Yeah.
created a ripple effect of different relationships vibrating out of my life because I had different sets of values and priorities than they did, not because we didn't love each other or respect each other. I was moving different. And so when you start to move differently when you've done the work, it's just going to happen naturally.
Yeah.
And also, what's the alternative? You sit with this friend and think about how you don't like them and how they're not, they're like, you're just going to talk shit about them in your mind.
Oh my gosh.
Or like,
It's such a good point though, right? Because like if you're not enjoying yourself being there,
exactly, it's not kind to them or you.
it's not kind to them.
It's
either.
like, and I don't think friendships need to always be like, this is the most fun relationship of my life, but you could also, and also, how do we see value? People see value like they think about, it's like, what are they going to get me? It's like value is also in love and
Yeah.
presence and
Yeah.
attunement. And so it's just like the way that I live and operate. I want to be giving to my relationships.
Yeah.
I want them to get a lot from me. And I also want to be getting a lot from them. And that's just how it is. And that's honestly too for my circle, where I can have acquaintances where I love them and we have a good time, but it's not like a deep relationship where we're like in a container of growth and development. They're just cool people that I enjoy when I'm out. And you
Right.
can have that too.
Right. I love that. Okay, let's wrap it up. I want to know what nobody ever asked you about that you want to talk about. I mean, I know you have tens of thousands of hours.
I know of content. That's the whole thing. It's so interesting.
there-
So doing the podcast for 10 years, it's almost like having a diary
Yeah.
of my entire life, that's really gone out to the world. That's been really interesting. And I've been really reflecting back on that. And so I think a question that no one asked me that I would love for them to ask me, I think with my dad, I think because he's so sick, I think people ask me how I'm doing. They're like, how are you? How is he? But I think there's so many more layers of questions that people can ask that people don't know how to be with in grief.
Yeah.
And I think I'm taking this course on grief because it's so fascinating, like how to move with someone that has grief because they already feel like they have such a load and they already don't feel like they know how to process what's going on.
Yeah.
And so it's so supportive of someone that's in grief to just like either show up for them, just like do the thing instead of asking them, hey, do you need anything? Just do the thing.
Yeah.
Show up with a meal, show
Yeah.
up like at their door, just watch TV with them, do
Yeah.
errands with them. But maybe it would be the question about like my dad's impact on my life or what it's like.
Will you
in my
please
journey.
tell us?
Yeah, of course. So what it's like to be with a dad who's like dying essentially in this
Because I
time.
think a lot of people in your age group might deal with that with a grandparent, but not a
Totally.
parent.
Totally.
So how is that different?
I think the way that it's with a grandparent, there's just a deeper level of understanding that you will lose grandparents.
Right.
I think socially in life, you don't really expect, you have to recontextualize your reality with a sick parent. Where I always thought my dad was going to be at my wedding. I always thought my dad would be with my kids. I always thought you had these ideas.
Yeah.
And it's much like an ending of a relationship when you break up. You grieve the timelines that you had. You grieve the path that you were on. But it's just a very layered, multifaceted process that I think I'm still working with today and I still am processing today, but it's something that I think about, quite a bit in my life. But my dad has been an amazing inspiration and voice in my life. Also a relationship that I'm sort of reprocessing as an adult with my dad of like, what was he really like as a father? So it's interesting to reprocess a relationship when someone is sick too, because you're kind of dealing with two different realities.
Yeah, that was one of the questions that I was asked was, what if you haven't talked to your mom again and she passes away? It's a scary question.
What do you feel about that?
I feel like I really maybe probably waited too long to make my decision to separate.
Mm-hmm.
And that not only for me, but for my daughters, it's healthier. And so I think it's going to be really hard. And I think I'm going to be really sad. And I think I'm still going to trust that I made the right decision.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a beautiful practice for anyone listening. It's just like you can make a decision and it doesn't have to be forever. It doesn't have to be the rest of your life. Just checking in. How do I feel about this decision today? Giving myself the chance to change my mind, giving myself the freedom to become a different person and version today, giving myself the chance to be right or wrong, to even, and then you go to the next level. Even if my mom passes, I'm still going to love myself, even if I have regrets.
And that's the key of self-love, right? That's the having your own back.
Even if this person doesn't love me, even if this doesn't work out, even if I regret this, I'm going to love myself. I think about that a lot with my dad of seeing him. I'm like, even if he passes, I'm going to be proud of how I showed up.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't perfect, even if I didn't say the thing, even if I was impatient sometimes, I'm going to love myself through it, because when you're present with yourself and you're choosing in every moment, it's much easier to do that too.
Yeah.
Where you're like, hey, how do I feel about this today?
Right. And I let myself try again a couple of times and
Beautiful.
to see where it would land.
Beautiful. And it's inspiring to even hear for your audience of like what it's like to have a boundary that you live in and that you work and that you honor and that you respect with your mother dynamic that works for you. Like, this is healthy for me, it's healthy for her, and it works for you.
And I didn't know that I had a choice if it was an immediate family member.
Yep.
I thought I could set boundaries with the entire world, but blood, you don't have a choice. You do. Anytime that something is not healthy for you, you have a choice.
Yeah.
You always have a choice.
Totally.
And it's
I'm sure your marriage and your husband made that easier.
He, he just supports me endlessly. So he supported the decision before he knew what or why I had made it, because he just loved and trusted me.
Completely.
Which is great. But later he learned why I made it. And then goes, got it.
Wow, bless.
Got it. Would you mind telling me one of your favorite stories about your dad? Are you open to that today?
Yes, I would love that. Okay, so this is... I was like a rebel as a kid, and I was like, just kind of like, I was always just like doing weird stuff. And I remember my dad owned a car dealership, so he'd always bring cars home, different cars all the time. And we had a car parked in our driveway, and it was a Jaguar. It was like an old Jaguar. And I was just like a little rebel. So I was like, I'm going to drive. I was probably 10.
Oh my gosh.
And I was
little rebel.
I'm going to get in the car. And I was like, I put it in reverse, and I didn't know what to do from that point. So the car rolls all the way back into my neighbor's, like, into my neighbor's mailbox, smashes the back of the car in the window. And my dad just like comes out and he's just like, honestly, I've been waiting for this moment. He's like, I've been waiting for you to try and drive. Like, and he just not for a second was like mean, condescending, rude, mad at me, never got agitated, always regulated, and just gave me this freedom of like, obviously I got in trouble.
Right.
But like gave me the freedom
But
of
no
like,
love was taken.
no love was taken. Of like, you can mess up, you can be imperfect, you can be yourself of this discovery of what it's like to be a child. And I will never like forgo love from you or judge you or like make you feel like this immediate shame. And I had so many situations like that in my life that I'm so grateful for, that I feel like I've been gifted, that I look forward to gifting to my children, of that like immense grace and that immense like patience that he gave me.
Generational gem, is that your term?
Yes, generational gem. Yes, I would say his compassion and his ability to hold space is like my gem from him.
I love that.
This has been so much fun.
So much fun.
I'm so grateful for you. We just like did the thing, and I just, for anyone listening that works with you, like you are truly like a woman of your word, a woman of the work, a woman of curiosity and depth and truth. And I loved what you said at the beginning, because I think when you are in this work, you have to get people to support you and hold your hand and reflect back to you and mirror, because it can be a place where there can be parts of us that can be present, like the perfect part.
Yeah.
I can tell her what to do. I can be this helper for her. But for you to be honoring of yourself, and I've seen you in this work process, it's been so beautiful to see your softening and your depth, and I'm so grateful to be a part of it.
I love it. And I'm excited to have you help me continue to grow.
I know. You're like, after
So
one of
fun.
our calls, you're like, my homework was pleasure.
Oh my God, this was so good. You guys, like the best coaching advice ever. And I honestly, I think that there was 2 or 3 clients that already weaved some of the work that you gave me into their sessions. And I'm like always open. I'm like, I'm working with this amazing coach and she told me this. And so here's how we can use it for your situation. And so I think that's important as a coach, that we're always learning and growing and putting things into our lives that like I will always grow with my clients. And so I feel like I have I have a deep desire to do it myself, but B, I feel like I have a requirement to do it as a coach. It feels like a responsibility of mine.
Same. Totally agree.
And so, yeah, so your work is already helping me and being down. But literally, I left a session with Krista and she was like, your work is to seek more pleasure, slow down, and really like simmer into it.
And that's nervous system work. That's the thing. People are like, oh, soft life. It's like there's so many layers to that.
And
There's
I say, like,
rebellion, recalibration, nervous system stuff. Like, it's crazy.
yeah, and I say like work hard, play hard, rest soft. And I got some work to do on the resting soft.
Yeah, my girl, that's your homework. Is not many women know how to rest.
But there's
I can be
awareness,
better at it.
right?
Yeah.
So we're starting.
Yes.
And I do take time. Like I totally rearranged my time. I was telling Krista that like when I pour my bath, it takes way longer to fill up than I'm ever in it. And so we're working on me soaking in the pleasure. I mean, that is the best coaching work ever. I do talk about coaching being a luxury, and it's a luxury that I think we need to figure out how to afford, if at all financially possible, because it's life-changing. But just the idea that this work will change you in every facet of your life.
Every cell.
It will. A lot of people come to me because they want to make more money. And like, I can help you get any job you want. I can help you make more money. But everyone leaves and says, actually, the happiness part is my favorite part.
Dude.
And so I love just talking about the fact that get a coach so you can be happier, and you're worth that. It is worth spending money on yourself for your own happiness. And I am like 1,000-fold happier than I used to be. And I think it shows in every way. I put a post up the other day on Instagram just about like, I've lost 30 pounds and kept it off. And I'm like, what's the main thing? It's not my workout plan. It's not my food plan. It's that I'm happy.
Yep. And you did metamorphosis and you're feeling it, love in your body. And it is that holistic piece is so good. I say coaching changes like your internal operating system. You just operate differently in the world. You see the world differently. You like move differently. And I'm sure you've had too. My clients will be like, I like started and I wanted to start a coaching business. And now I'm just softer, kinder, like more in love with my husband, more present with my kid. Like, it's like, it just does it all and gives you what you need. And so, I think everyone's going to want to be a coach now after this.
I love it. Okay. So, I want you to follow the podcast Almost 30. I want you to read Almost 30. It does not matter what age you are.
Yeah.
God, I got so much from it, especially I loved the relationship sections. I loved the mother wound section inside of Almost 30. That was phenomenal. And then just hearing about what's next? Because you talk in the book about like what's next 20 to 30 and like, have I really hit what I thought I was going to hit? I think that cycle keeps happening. Now I'm in my 40s and like we stop having celebrations. I think, can I ask you a quick question?
Yes, please.
Is almost 40 coming?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I bought the domain. I bought the web. I have every single like trademark for almost 40, just in case.
I'm just telling you, I would
know.
love every piece of it.
It's a different set of thoughts.
Yeah, one of the things
Timeline
that I
things.
think is really hard at that point is that for a while you graduate high school, you graduate college, you get married, you have babies, and people are celebrating you the whole damn time. You get a promotion. Like everyone is like partying at your house in your honor all the time. And then it's just nothingness for a decade.
Totally.
And then you're like, wait, I don't have toddlers that people care about anymore. But they're not graduated yet either. I'm not retired yet. And it's just this like lull of like, what happens now? And so I would love to hear the spin on it. But I actually found almost 30 really helpful for those moments too.
Yep.
Because you got to piece together, not just like, why am I feeling this? But like, what do I want to do about it? And what is society versus my desires?
Yes, I think that's a huge question of it. And it's, you know, enjoying the process of your becoming. I think that we always feel like there's a destination. And even that's exactly the programming. Graduate, celebrate. Get a job, celebrate. Get married, celebrate. It's like, no, like there's so much we could celebrate in our lives. And it's not just about the outcome that we need to celebrate. It's the process of like our becoming. And it's so funny. My friends, I have such amazing friendships. And I'll call them and I'll be like, yo, this is like going down with business, da da da. They're like, oh, that's amazing. They're like, what's on the other side of that? Like, oh my God, I can't wait to see like what happens after you get through this. And we can really find so much to celebrate. And so I think for women, an invitation would be like, how can you celebrate yourself today? How can you celebrate a girlfriend today?
I love the idea of like having a divorce party, having a promotion party. Like, let's celebrate all the things that are amazing happening to women outside of,
Oh my gosh, I love that.
yes, just the babies.
I should have had a divorce party.
Oh my God, I love it. I love it. And one other thing I want to say about the book that was really transformational for me is your chapter on finding purpose. Here's what it expanded for me. People say like your job doesn't have to be a purpose. Get that. And it's not for everybody, but it has always been for me. And like, I loved it. And like, I felt good in it. But what you expanded for me is that my purpose is not about helping women get promoted in corporate America. My purpose is about empowering women to make more money, to be happier in general. That means my purpose lies with my friendships. That means my purpose lies with my daughters. That means my purpose lies in my interactions with my husband. That means my purpose lies everywhere I show up. And God, that was empowering, Krista, to not just think like, am I putting enough hours in my purpose?
Totally.
Because I am my purpose.
Oh my gosh.
And my
your
being
existence.
is,
Oh my
and
gosh,
me being in with
100%.
you, it's like,
It's the best. I see that. I'm like every day, I'm like, God, just let me bless people. Like, just let me bless who I see and who I am with and who I sit with. And you can literally ask like to maybe your vibration can be the purpose.
I love
Bringing joy. Like it's just
And like I meet so this summer I'm trying a soft summer for the first time ever. I'm going to work 2 days a week.
cool. Okay.
And I'm taking the other days of the week off. I have like a family Friday where every Friday morning I'm either going to go to the gym or on a hike with my daughters and then take them to brunch.
Love
Right?
that.
Like I am so excited about this, but I was thinking about how there are some women that I know that stay home, maybe with one kid, maybe with no kids. And when I see them and feel their soul, like I like feel a little love. I feel a little, they generate their power and their energy. And like you feel that vibration. And it's just from them being. It's not about their job. It's not about their title. It's not about them baking certain things in certain shapes. It's just about their energy. And I'm like, that's what I'm hoping for this summer is it's not about my career. It's not about me being impressive on paper or how much money I make. It's about
your essence.
my vibration, my
And embodiment. I was with a woman.
Ugh.
Last thing. I was with a woman this weekend. She 2 kids, stays home, husband works, and I've known her for years. And I just was reminded being with her. I'm like, I know powerful women. Met some of the most powerful women in the world. She's one of the most powerful women I've ever met, and she's so unassuming. Just stay at home mom with her kids, like, and that's nothing to be shade, but like, there's just a deep power and resonance of how she lives and moves in the world, and it's so inspiring. I'm like, oh, you are
sexy.
so sexy. She's stunning in her own way. It's like just amazing.
Will you rapid fire some of your favorite guests and people you've ever got to meet on Almost 30?
The Glenn and Joel one's really good. We had a channeling from Lee Harris. He does like channeling, so he channeled for us, which is very, very cool and interesting if people are interested in the woo-woo. And Dick Schwartz, who founded Internal Family Systems, is a good one for people to hear more about that one. We did a really beautiful one on the mother wound. So you can search Mother Wound Almost 30. There's a few episodes about that I would highly suggest. I've done a few on the body image one that are really good. We had Janine Roth on, was one of my favorite teachers for body. Definitely a really good one. We've had a few on the good girl myth that are out now as well. Gabby Bernstein, Jay Shetty, Roddy Shetty, Rich Roll, Joe Dispenza, like just been really great guests. So I would search topic Almost 30. So like mother wound,
Yeah.
internal family system, self-love, Almost 30. I think that's a really good place.
I love it. So wherever you want to go deeper.
Then it's Krista. I'm at itskrista.com. It's Krista on Instagram. And you can find me there.
I love it. And you can join me in some of her programs.
Yes.
So Metamorphosis,
girl.
I've already gone to, doing one-on-ones now. But you also have retreats coming up in Italy and
Italy is in October. And then I have Fully Expressed is in June. It's in Chicago. So that's for women that want to be paid to use their voice, be paid to be better speakers, teachers, and want to have a personal brand. So that's in Chicago.
Okay, so I have a lot of clients in Chicago. That's where we were. So would it work for a woman who wants to stay in corporate but use your voice more there?
Yes, 100%. So
Okay.
there's 2 days. The second day is for personal brands. The first day is just a woman that wants to use her voice more. So it's really just becoming more fully expressed and using your voice. And it's kind of the same thing, whether you're on a stage at a brand where you're teaching about self-love or you're in front of a boardroom, the same type of experience is happening and the same type of beliefs come up. So it's nervous system work, belief work, and really a lot of practice. Because I think a lot of women, they don't need more information, they need more practice.
Yep. I love that. We talk about reps with confidence.
Reps with confidence, baby.
Love it.
Love it.
Thank you so much for being here. Your soul's amazing. I know. Can we reach through all the bikes?
Love you guys.
Love you. Bye. Thanks for joining me in the 5% Club today. If you're ready to make more, work less, and design a life you love, then go to ShaylaKing.com and join the waitlist. You'll be the first to know when there's openings to work with me in one-on-one coaching or the Performance and Happiness Lab, my group container where you will learn to be a high-performing, highly paid executive who loves your whole life. I'll see you there.